So, hi guys, this is baby Jailyn right here, and her mom is called Crystal, and she left the baby for 10 days alone in the house. She left her some bottle of milk, so she expected this kid to feed herself while she was on vacation. So this video is um, is how the court rulings went. You'll listen to the pathologist and listen to the grandparents of this child right here, but you'll listen to the judge give his judgment, and you'll just tell me what you think about this case, because it's a case that's really heartbreaking. How can you leave this sweet child alone in the house? I mean, it's so heartbreaking. It's so, oh my god, I don't even know what to say.
She get a vomiting too. Remember right now when you mentioned the vomiting. She get a vomiting the last week, Monday and Tuesday, two times. But I was trying controlling because I know I give to her Tylenol or something, for controlling the vomiting.
Okay. Come on, sir.
This
is my supervisor, Sergeant Palmer.
And Pediality too, I give to her when she get a diarrhea or vomiting. Hola, ¿qué tal?
Soy la sargento Gómez por el departamento de
Just to take note, Your Honor, she's
So
sitting in the chair,
that's
and the
the
baby is
situation,
covered with a white
and
sheet
after
in
that,
front of her feet.
she was refusing to do the food, and she was with no appetite. I say, oh my God.
This is after last Monday and Tuesday when she was throwing up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Are you talking about Monday and Tuesday like 4 days ago?
Yeah,
Okay.
the last week, yes.
Okay.
Yes. Because we almost done this week, so I talk about,
Because what this week?
This week. Yeah, I talk about because we almost done, the
Oh, we're almost done with this week.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so that was just Monday and Tuesday of this week. She was throwing up.
Yes.
And then how was she Wednesday and Thursday?
She was with no food, just with a meal because she was refusing. Maybe it's because she get a vomiting 2 days, before.
Yeah.
So that's why
What?
I was scary because I say, oh my God, let me go to the hospital because she doesn't eat anything, and she was lose tiny, her weight.
Yeah.
I lose, her weight. But right now, in this morning when I wake up, she was asleep. She sleep every day 12 hours.
Okay.
She sleep like at 8 p.m. to 9 or 10 a.m.
Okay.
12 hours. So, in this morning I was sleeping too. I never wake up. She was...
What happened? What was going on last night?
Last night she was crying a lot. And I see one moment when I was take a shower, and she was screaming like, I don't know, probably she get a pain.
Okay.
Maybe.
About what time was that last night?
Maybe at 7 or 8 p.m.
Okay.
So she was screaming like, probably for pain or something like that. In this morning when I wake up, I took her in the morning for, Jailyn, wake up, ta, 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 ta. And she wake up, and when I see her, I see she looks like a really, really dry, like a, ¿cómo se dice cuando una persona se chupa, o sea,
kind of like
yes.
Oh, like her face was sunken in?
So, yeah. Y ahí fue que
Okay.
yo me asusté y dije, yeah.
And then she is then brought into homicide. She's arrested and brought into homicide and has another conversation with Sergeant Gomez and Detective Powell, and she continues now to perpetuate her lies.
What time did you go to Detroit, Michigan on Monday? Monday morning? Okay. On Monday morning, what condition was Jailyn in?
She was okay.
She was okay? Was she awake, asleep?
No, she wasn't sleeping.
She was asleep when you left? Sorry. You went there on
Y
Who did you go visit?
amistades.
Who? Give me a name.
Oh, David, that's the name.
David?
Yeah.
Okay, so you arrived at 2 hours later, to the hotel. Where'd you stay?
No me recuerdo bien la ciudad que él estaba ni el hotel.
Okay, come on. You está guiando to Detroit, Michigan, you don't know what city, you don't know what hotel, you gotta come out with something better than that.
No,
Okay.
pero el hotel donde él se estaba hospedando,
No,
Super A.
where you were staying, not David, where you were staying. We're not talking about David.
Super A, that's it.
Super 8?
Yeah.
Alright, so you arrived at 2 hours later, you stayed at Super 8, you mentioned something about Uber.
Yo estaba trabajando en Uber, sí.
She was working Uber. Why would you go, hold on, why would you go work Uber in Detroit, Michigan,
Porque yo
instead of doing it here in Cleveland,
Sí, porque
where your daughter is?
yo también trabajaba aquí en Uber, aquí en Cleveland.
Okay, well, why go over there and not do it here? Why not do it here? Your daughter's here.
Porque me iba a ver amistades también en Michigan,
She
entonces
was working some
aproveché.
friends over there in Michigan, so she took advantage of the fact that she was over there to visit people, she worked over there.
Pero no era siempre que yo lo hacía.
But not always. That's not, she didn't do that always.
And don't take this the wrong way. At what point did you think that it would make sense to leave her here while you go to Detroit?
Él se ganó todo esto de la manera mal, pero ¿en qué momento tú pensaste que está bien
Por pasear, por
to travel,
por pasear,
Why not travel with you?
¿Por qué no llevaste a ella contigo?
porque yo pensaba regresar el viernes y ya quedarme con ella, o sea, era algo rápido, eventual, que no.
She said that because she had planned on returning on Friday and spending time with them, so
Porque no me iba a quedar en la casa de nadie.
she wasn't gonna stay in anybody's house.
But why not bring her with you if you already knew that she had a condition going on at the time?
Si tú sabías que ella tenía una condición y estaba enfermita,
She needed
¿por qué no llevarla contigo?
Porque por eso mismo, por yo pasear, por
Because she wanted to have a good time and travel.
And this is the second interview that she had.
Cash in your wallet to purchase the second thing. Okay, but you took out money from the ATM machine, that's what you used.
siempre la uso
All
para
right, so let's just start, we're gonna wrap up some stuff here real quick. Okay, so, you were at your house in June 16th, okay, the day you were there. You woke up at 7:20 in the morning, right?
Él me estaba diciendo acerca de que tiene todo mi seguimiento.
¿Tengo qué?
Él me dijo hace un momento, bueno, en inglés,
¿Qué tiene qué?
que todavía tengo mi seguimiento de donde yo me movilicé y todo eso.
Yeah, we have you on video, your car coming home at 7:36 in the morning. What time are we gonna see you leaving your house and when? What's the video gonna show us? When we look at this video some more,
Okay.
okay?
Sí,
Cuando nosotros empezamos a ver el video, okay? ¿Qué ese video nos va a enseñar a nosotros? ¿A qué hora tú saliste de tu casa y cuándo? Nos está enseñando tú regresando a las 7:36 de la mañana. Pero a qué hora tú te fuiste. ¿Y qué día? Piénsalo bien, porque el video, el video no miente. Okay? I'm telling you, think about it really good because the video does not lie.
No lie.
What is the video going to show us? Is the video going to show us that you left your house on Friday? Because it's showing you coming back, but when is it showing you leaving? Because we're going to look at the video and it's going to show us and it's not going to lie. Think about your answer. Think about your answer.
So I was planning to Chris, I said, this is the time
Y esto ya es la oportunidad tuya para decirnos la verdad. Porque nosotros vamos a ver el video.
Sí,
Y si no nos está diciendo la verdad, no lo vamos a ver. Y vamos a ver que tú no estás mintiendo.
Sí, y él ya me está diciendo que va a haber más problemas al respecto.
Va a empezar los problemas.
So, Your Honor, with regards to
disregard for Jailyn's precious life. Candelario violated Jailyn yet again when she placed her little body in a clean outfit in order to orchestrate this facade that she was trying to portray for the investigators, either before or after she called 911. But Jailyn told us something different when we saw her eyes sunken and wide open. We later learned that sunken eyes is a result of severe dehydration. To the naked eye, it appeared she had dirt in her mouth and fingernails. It wasn't until the next day that detectives learned that the dirt in fact was feces. Detectives also began to gain clarity as to what really happened to Jailyn. Candelario's fabricated story, which she initially told detectives, began to unravel. There's no way things could have happened the way the defendant said they did, which left us with many unanswered questions. Detectives gained knowledge of the fact that Candelario left Jailyn by herself for more than 10 days. Many hours of video surveillance revealed all of the comings and goings of Candelario from June 5th through June 16th of 2023, when she discovered her daughter deceased. Investigators watched a total of 628 surveillance videos, which also included audio. On June 9th, audio surveillance captured the final time Jailyn is ever heard crying. Myself and the people sitting behind me, many who are mothers and fathers, are tormented by the thought of what Jailyn endured and what her last hours on earth were like. Any of us and thousands of others would have jumped at the opportunity to take care of this beautiful little girl. Jailyn died a long and agonizing death, afraid and alone, while her mother enjoyed the beach and sunshine. This is a case that myself, all the people behind me, and everyone around the world will have branded in our minds and in our hearts forever. Jailyn took her last breath, and our only hope is that Jailyn found herself in the arms of Jesus, feeling his warm embrace and love, something she did not receive from her mother. Jailyn, you will never be forgotten. Thank you, Your Honor.
Same thing, Detective, if you don't mind, just please say and spell your first and last name.
Yes, Detective T.J. Powell, P-O-W-E-L-L, assigned to the Cleveland Police Homicide Unit. I was the lead detective investigator on this case, and I can honestly say, Your Honor, in my 17-year career as a Cleveland police officer, this by far is the most horrific case I've ever had to investigate. Now, I've been a detective for 10 years. First and foremost, I want to thank the entire homicide unit, the entire Cleveland Police Department, prosecutor's office. As you see, we're here, we're Jailyn's voice. Unfortunately, there's no family on our side, but we're her family. I wrote a short poem, just something in commemoration of Jailyn's life. J is for the justice that'll be received today. A is for the angel wings she earned on that joyful day. I is for the incremental repetition, build up of suspense for an innocent bystander's death that clearly makes no sense. L is for the lack of love while alone for 11 days. Y is for a young life that was taken away. N is for new eternal life Jailyn gained on that day. No child should ever have to die this way. Jailyn's life truly mattered. Unfortunately, she died trying to survive off of her own urine and fecal matter.
Lastly, Your Honor, you're going to hear that Ms. Candelario was depressed. And no one more than I appreciate mental health and mental health issues and the programs that this court and my office have tried to implement to help folks with mental health. This is not the case here. This is not the case at all. Her actions speak louder than words. She had the wherewithal to leave Cuyahoga County and drive to Detroit, to be not with one man, but with two, let alone leaving a child, her own flesh and blood, in a pack and play. And during the time that she has been locked up, she has been making plans for the future, talking to other folks at other jails, other prisons. She had a conversation, which I find more disturbing than not, but on November 26, 2023, instead of wrought with emotion, wrought with guilt, crying about the death of her child, she's talking with a friend about her trip to Puerto Rico and what a blast it was and how much the car cost, and they got a truck versus a car even though it was more expensive, and they were concerned about the other woman that was on the trip because she liked to spend money, and they spent money on food. There was never mention about her daughter in her phone calls, and in fact, on January 6th of 2024, she's talking to her mother, who she repeatedly talks to, and they talked about God is forgiving, God is this. You also have to take responsibility for your actions, and God isn't in the courtroom. That's why we have judges, and that's why we have the law, because we have to follow the law. But this is what she says, because she wants to make us believe that she doesn't understand the English language. She goes on to say, there are people who have gone free here, killing people. I mean, imagine. I mean, intentionally, and mine was practically an accident. I mean, because it was not like I did it intentionally. It's not like I picked up a gun or a bat or the girl bled or something like that. That's it. It was practically the same thing that happened to me a few days prior. I had had the same thing happen to me days prior. And I mean that day that it happened, that same situation happened. Were you starved when you were in Puerto Rico, Miss Candelaria? Did you not have a glass of water to drink when your mouth was parched? It is really pretty pathetic, Your Honor, because, we always stand before you and say that the purposes and principles of sentencing are to punish the offender and to protect the public. And, in the sentencing memorandum, the defense says, well, she's not going to do it again. Well, no, she's not going to do it again because she's going to prison. But it's the fact that she did it in the beginning that sticks with us. You don't do that. She was a mother. She got a title that means something in this world. Animals take care of their infants better. The thought of this child dying every day while she's having fun, humanity can't stomach that. And those are the actions that need to be punished. She abandoned her daughter and left her for dead. So, yeah, she didn't see blood. She didn't see the aftermath of a baseball bat. But what she did see were her eyes open, looking at her, saying, why did you do this to me? Thank you, Your Honor.
Do we need an interpreter?
Yes, sir. Robert.
Are you okay? All right.
Good morning.
I'm going to ask, would you like to go first then? Identify yourself.
Yo solo voy a hablar.
She's just gonna
Yo
talk.
solo voy a
He's just here.
Oh, okay, got it.
Y va a
Sorry.
hablar de este
No,
texto,
Luis.
¿cierto?
Yo.
Muy bien.
Can you please say your name?
¿Favor indicar su nombre?
Ketty Torres. ¿Mi nombre?
Katie Torres.
Okay, and can you spell it for the record, Robert?
Puede deletrear K con K, ¿cierto?
K.
K-A-T-Y, ¿cierto?
K-E-T-T-Y.
K-E-T-T. K-E-T-T-Y. ¿Y Torres con S o?
Con S.
Torres, T-O-R-R-E-S.
Okay, and present with her is her husband and his name?
¿Y con ella es su nombre, señor?
Tu nombre.
¿Cómo?
Tu nombre.
Clever Candelario.
¿Cómo?
Clever Candelario.
Clever Candelario.
Él no
Clever.
escucha bien. Él no escucha bien. Tiene un problema de audición.
This gentleman has a hearing problem.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
Okay, Clever con
¿Qué?
C.
Con K.
Con
K-L-E-B-R.
K-L-E-V-E-R. ¿Y el apellido?
Candelario, con C.
Candelario. Same as the.
You're good? All right, good.
Okay, bien, señor. Frase por frase.
Excelentísimos jueces de la Corte,
Honorable Judge of the Court.
con el corazón partido en 1000 pedazos,
With my heart ripped apart in 1,000 pieces,
pero desde el amor y sostenida por Dios,
but speaking from love and maintained by God,
estoy aquí para decirle al mundo
I am here to tell the world
que mi hija salió de un hogar
that my daughter came from a home
donde se creó una relación de humanismo,
where there was relations of humanism,
valores,
values,
creencias,
beliefs,
afectos,
emotions,
calidez,
warmth,
donde lo más importante era la familia.
where the most important thing was the family.
Cristel creció y se formó
Crystal grew up and was educated
en un ambiente sano junto a sus padres.
in a healthy environment together with her parents,
Protegida y amada.
protected and loved.
Realizó sus estudios en nuestro país natal, Ecuador.
She studied and was educated in our native country of Ecuador,
Escogiendo la misma profesión de su abuelo y sus padres.
and she chose the same profession as her fathers and her grandfather,
La docencia.
teaching.
Sus años de edad adulta fueron marcados
Her years as an adult were marked by
por problemas de salud física y sentimentales.
both physical and emotional problems
Que no siempre terminaron de la mejor manera.
that didn't always end up in the best way.
Su salud emocional se vio afectada en más de una ocasión.
Her emotional health was affected on more than one occasion.
Pero entre trabajo, responsabilidades y el día a día,
But between her work, her other responsibilities, and her day-to-day life,
en un ir y venir, no logró priorizar la importancia de un tratamiento continuo.
in the middle of all that, she never ended up prioritizing or appreciating the importance of continued treatment.
Por lo que la depresión y la ansiedad y el trastorno de neurosis de conversión fueron ganando terreno en su vida.
And because of all that, her depression, anxiety, her conversion neurosis disorder, all ended up consuming her.
Razón por la que siempre sufría desmayos y pérdida del conocimiento.
And as a result of this, she suffered fainting spells and also loss of consciousness.
Con esto no quiero victimizar ni justificar a nadie,
In saying this, I don't want to victimize or justify anyone,
solo mirar el yo interior de quien hoy está aquí sentada y siendo juzgada.
I only want to give a glimpse of the interior person, the ego of someone who is seated here and who is being judged.
Señores, las enfermedades de salud mental no se reflejan en el rostro.
Ladies and gentlemen, the sickness, a mental health illness is not reflected
Ni
in
en una-
someone's face,
Ni en una foto.
and also not in a picture, in a photo.
Nacen y se quedan en el alma
It arises and remains in the soul.
Solo un tratamiento a tiempo y eficaz con ayuda de terapistas y médicos ayudan a mejorarlo.
And only a timely and effective treatment by therapists and doctors can help to improve those conditions.
Mi hija no tenía calidad de vida
My daughter did not have a good quality of life
porque ella no podía pausar el trabajo.
because she couldn't stop working.
Nunca nadie imaginó que este sufrimiento terminaría en tragedia.
No one ever imagined that this suffering would culminate in a tragedy.
Y hoy aquí quiero decirle a Jailyn
And here I'm
que eres
here-
nuestro ángel, Jailyn.
I want to say here before Jailyn, our angel,
Tu recuerdo vive en nosotros.
that your memory lives within us.
Siempre te amaremos.
We will always love you.
Te acuné en mis brazos.
I held you in my arms.
Tus abuelos nunca te olvidarán.
Your grandparents will never forget you.
Perdóname, bebé,
Forgive me
por vivir la oscuridad del conocimiento
for being in the dark
que me imposibilitó ver la luz y poder ayudar a
and
tu
for being
madre.
in the darkness that prevented me from seeing the light to see what was going on with your mother.
Hija querida, cuánto te amo.
My beloved daughter, I love you so much.
Lamento y me arrepiento
I lament and I am
por no
so
haber
sorry
por no haber detectado lo que estabas viviendo.
for not having detected what you were going through.
No leí tu corazón.
I could not see what was in your heart.
No me percaté del caos
I didn't notice the chaos
por el que estabas atravesando.
that you were going through.
Lamento ahora, hija de mi vida, causarte este dolor.
I lament my darling daughter that I caused you this pain.
Señores de esta sala,
Your Honor,
pido misericordia,
I ask for mercy.
clemencia y compasión
I ask for mercy, for clemency, and for compassion
para un ser humano
for a human being
que ha librado una dura batalla en su vida.
that has waged a very difficult battle in her life.
Y ruego no satanizarla
And I beg that you not
ni señalarla.
I beg that you not demonize her and point the finger at her.
¿Quién en esta vida no ha pecado contra Dios?
Who in this life has not sinned against God?
Que levanten la mano quienes no lo han hecho.
Anyone who hasn't, let them raise their hand.
Pero como creemos en un Dios de amor y de bondad,
But since we believe in a
y de,
in a God of love and of goodness,
en un Dios de perdón,
and a God of forgiveness,
Él está aquí con nosotros.
He is here with us.
Hija, te amo.
My daughter, I
Aquí
love
estaré siempre para ti.
you. We're here always for you.
Te voy a esperar toda la vida.
I'm going to wait the rest of my life for you.
Sí.
This court has to impose a sentence here today. And first thing a judge has to do is look at the purposes and principles of sentencing. That is, the sentence must comply with these purposes and principles under our revised code 292911A. The overriding purpose is to punish the offender and protect the public from future crime by this offender and others, using the minimum sanctions that the court determines accomplishes this purpose without imposing an unnecessary burden on state or local government resources. I always have to consider the need for incapacitation, deterrence, rehabilitation, and restitution. The sentence should be commensurate with and not demeaning to the seriousness of the offender's conduct, its impact on the victims, and consistent with sentences for similar crimes by similar offenders. Ms. Candelaria, I am not sentencing you today based on your race, your ethnicity, your gender, or your religion. Do you understand?
Yes.
I sat here, listened, and I'm looking in the back of this courtroom, and I think of Dr. Mooney's statements to me, Sergeant Detective Teresa Gomez, and Detective Powell, and these three experienced, very talented, hardworking individuals all called this one of the most horrific cases they've ever seen. I look in the back of this courtroom and I see law enforcement, I see individuals who have worked on this case, who are here because it's also affected them and how horrific this crime is. It stunned people across this world because it defies one of the basic human responsibilities. The bond between a mother and a child is one of the most purest and most sacred bonds between human beings. It's a relationship built on love, trust, and unwavering protection. Yet, in a shocking and betrayal of this fundamental trust, you committed the ultimate act of betrayal, leaving your baby terrified, alone, unprotected, to suffer what I heard was the most gruesome death imaginable, with no food, no water, no protection, and lying in her own feces. Ms. Candelaria, you know the responsibility of parenthood. You have a child already. You raised another child. And I've witnessed here before me your parents who've showed you love and respect and education. And they came here to help, to advocate for you, more than what you've done for your own child. The evidence that I've witnessed here before this court shows that this time you simply chose not to be here because you wanted to have fun. You decided you needed a vacation. And what followed was absolute depravity. You left your baby, Jailyn, trapped in a pack and play without food and water for 10 days. This wasn't simply an oversight. You could have saved Jailyn's life many times. You could have found someone to watch her while you were gone. You could have taken her with you while you were in Detroit or Puerto Rico. You could have called someone in Cleveland and told them that Jailyn needed help. Dr. Mooney indicated that rigor mortis was found when they found her, which means she didn't die that long before you came home. Think about that. Despite all of her suffering, that little baby persevered, waiting for someone to save her. And you could have done that with a simple phone call. Instead, I see photos of you on a beach while your child was eating her own feces, an attempt to survive. Photos mean something. And I'm well aware of mental health, but didn't look like you were too concerned about your child. As if that wasn't bad enough, you extended your stay in Detroit without regard to Jailyn, alone, in pain, clawing her face in distress from the exhibits I just looked at, trapped in a tiny prison that you left her in. When you got home, you knew enough to start lying. You concocted story after story, trying to hide what you did. You even put pants on her, but you couldn't hide the absolute horror and filth that she spent the last days of her life in. You still didn't get it. I hear this morning that you went out and managed to go out with someone that you were with, and he was too upset to eat, but you weren't. And then I hear that you're in jail and you're telling people, I can't wait to get home. I look at remorse. I hear, except for the acceptance of responsibility, no remorse. As a court, I have to remember Jailyn, where you did not. Just as you didn't let Jailyn out of her confinement until she died, so too, you should spend the rest of your life in a cell without freedom. The only difference will be that prison will at least feed you and give you liquids that you denied her. Based on all these factors, based on all the things I've looked at, and I'm marking this as State's Exhibit 1 for the court of order. On count 1, aggravated murder, I'm going to sentence you to life in prison without the possibility of parole. On count 5, I'm going to sentence you to 8 years to run concurrent to count 1. I'm going to tell you, Crystal, this is probably one of the most difficult, horrific cases to listen to hear, and to see. And I can tell you that I appreciate the fact that the state of Ohio presented this matter in a professional way, and the defense has acted in a professional way.
And A baby who was left alone in the house by her mom for 10 good days. When the mom went for a vacation, when she came back, she found the baby had already passed away. So basically, this video shows us her sentencing video, the court process and all that, where she was sentenced to life imprisonment. If you listen to these people, they are very sad about this case because this is a child who was innocent. So listen to the video and just tell me what you think. Was the judgment fair, or was the judge a little lenient, or was he too harsh? But according to me, the judge was very lenient.
Case. The state of Ohio has prepared a PowerPoint presentation because the state wants you, when you impose your sentence, that you look at Crystal Candelaria's actions. And anybody that knows me or has been in this courthouse would know that I talk about actions in all my cases, because as adults, we are responsible for our actions and there are consequences to our actions. So let us begin on this fateful day that Jailyn Candelaria lost her life. If in fact we would have gone to trial, the evidence was going to show that Crystal Candelaria left the state of Ohio on 6/4/2023. She leaves because there is a receipt that's found in her car that she is in Taylor, Michigan. Unbeknownst to Ms. Candelaria, her neighbors had Ring doorbell, and the Cleveland Police Department Homicide Unit has gone through 648 hours and videos of the Ring doorbell, which you're going to see in this presentation. With regards to Ms. Candelaria, she returns to Cuyahoga County on 6/6 at 7:41 a.m. So at this particular point, we have reason to believe that this child was left alone for 2 days now, and she returns on 6/6/2023. Additional cameras show her again at 11:51 on 6/6 and on 5/24 of 6/6. She is taking a suitcase and now leaving Cuyahoga County. We have a map and a flock camera which shows her on, I believe it's Lafayette and Charter, northbound, at 6/6 at 20:05, which is 8:05 p.m., and that's a flock camera. Through the search warrants, we were able to retrieve her Spirit airline tickets that showed her departure and her return from Puerto Rico. She was gone from 6/8 to 6/11. And it's interesting, Your Honor, because in the defense memorandum, it says that her abrupt stopping of medications played a significant role in her ability to function as a parent and make sound decisions. So when we look at, these are items from her phone, her actions indicate to us that she is in Puerto Rico having a good time with friends, and that there is not a care in the world about the 16-month-old that was left alone in the pack and play. These pictures show somebody who is showing some discretion and judgment because she's having a good time. Meanwhile, this child is in a pack and play. She returns to Detroit, and while she is in Puerto Rico, the detectives were able to locate on the Ring doorbell that on 6/9/2023 at around 1:04 a.m. in the morning that you hear this child crying. So now we have Miss Candelaria's car. She's returned from Michigan, from Puerto Rico back to Michigan, where she was with one fellow, and then traveled to go see another fellow in traveled to Imlay, Michigan to be with another fellow. So that's from 6/12 to 6/15. Her car is found on all these flock cameras. Not once is she returning to Cuyahoga County.
What's going on? I need you to tell me what happened. Okay, I'm gonna give you a few moments to calm down. Crystal. Please listen to me so I can help you.
She don't respond. She's white. She's white.
Who's white?
You better hear her, please. It's 6:30. I can speak English.
I'm understanding you. Tell me who's white. Who's white?
Please.
Your mom? Is it your mom?
I am mom. Yes. I am mom.
Do you live here?
My daughter is dying. My daughter is dying.
Oh, your mother is dying?
She's dying. She's dying. I don't know what to do. Stop me, please. I need help.
How old is she?
She's almost 16 months. Please help me.
Okay, I'm gonna get you over to your mother.
Oh my goodness.
That's where we're supposed to be, okay?
And then she's so overwrought with emotion on June 17th that she picks up and goes back to Michigan to meet up not with the guy that she had gone to Puerto Rico with, but the other guy that she was seeing. And in her house during a search warrant, there was found this notebook that had written harm from neglect. This is the location where Jailyn was housed for 10 days without anybody being present, any adult, in a 3x2 pack and play with maybe a bottle or two of milk and maybe some crackers. And the mattress that was found was urine laden and feces strewn throughout the pack and play. Now, this is where it begins, Your Honor. I come from an Italian Catholic family, and both my parents were immigrants, and they spoke broken